She bellowed. "This land is mine." Like she was staking claim in some dusty frontier showdown. And there I was, half chuckling, half rattled, because none of it added up. I'd barely unpacked at my new spread in the rolling hills of eastern Oregon back in the spring of 2022 when these folks in neon vests started sniffing around my perimeter like coyotes eyeing a fresh kill. My front stoop became their podium, my gravel path their jury box. And suddenly I was the outlaw in their twisted tale, condemned without a whisper of due process. They muttered about neighborhood codes, jabbed fingers at my stable, scribbled pretend memos while curtains twitched in nearby windows like it was primetime drama. Let me paint the picture. I'm bolting up a tack rail for gear when this HOA cruiser labeled Neighborhood Integrity crunches up my drive. Out steps Karen, all business in her crisp jacket, glaring at my modest stable and split-rail fence like they'd personally offended her. She smacks a binder onto my post with the force of a judge's hammer. That stable and fence are ruining the communal valley vista for everyone. She snaps. I set down my tools, pour myself some iced tea from the jug on the veranda, and fire back. My place isn't in your HOA. Over the hedge, Lisa from the adjacent lot peeks out from her flower beds, catches the vibe, shakes her head in quiet defeat, and slips away. You could tell this wasn't her first rodeo with whatever storm was brewing. To be straight, county deeds proved my acreage was carved out long before their subdivision sprouted up no ties to any HOA blueprint. The boundaries were etched in black and white. But Karen had her own agenda. She shoved these homemade Vista Pathway rules at me. Zero legal teeth over my dirt. I'm thinking, woman, this ain't how deeds and rights play out in the real world. Yet she preached like collective whims trumped solo ownership. Her tone dripping with that smug certainty that owning next door meant dictating my builds. Right by the boundary, a fresh trench scarred the earth. Soil still damp, slicing from their side into mine without a heads up. I grabbed my phone, narrated a quick clip with the date, capturing the murky runoff as evidence. The ground reeked of recent digging, not my imagination. I stood firm against her orders to shorten my setups. Karen's volume cranked up, cheeks flushing crimson. You'll comply. Vista rights are communal. I kept my cool. Ma'am. Chat with any land lawyer for the facts. Deep down, as a fresh face in these parts, I felt off balance. But my old gig inspecting irrigation for towns sharpened my eye for sneaky water tweaks. Come dawn, bark chips from their zone were piled across my line, forming a sneaky berm to shunt rain off their paths. Straight up intrusion and meddling. No paranoia, here the proof lay scattered on the turf. I rigged a basic precipitation meter nearby. Started a homestead journal with snaps after every downpour. Logging the rogue diversion turned routine. Karen swung by later. Spotted my setup with camera and pad. And her face boiled over. Then came the line from the headlines. This land is mine. You're sabotaging our amenities. Her shout echoed, loud enough for ears to perk up. She waved over their rig, beams blasting my veranda like a spotlight interrogation. Hearing that claim, I paused, then let out a soft laugh. The absurdity of my steady notes versus her meltdown hit funny, but chilling too. How far would she push this lawlessness? I barred my entrance with a timber, slapped up a private homestead no HOA say plaque, and stated flat, you're barking at ground outside your realm. But that bootleg drain links right to my yard. That's invasion. That evening, boot prints circled my meter, and a weird marker lingered in the mud. Instead of a straight talk, Dawn brought a glossy Valley Safety and Vista Day pamphlet dumped on my soil, roping my land into their voluntary brush-clear push, like it was theirs to command. It featured shots of my stable and fence, red-ringed as Vista blockers snapped from their turf without a nod. My pulse spiked seeing my spot twisted in their spin. I snatched up that oak peg from near the meter. Tagged landscape supply with a fresh label. Jammed illegally by my corner. Lisa strolled over. Twisted it in her grip. "This is new," she noted. Her auditor's instincts kicking in the sticker pristine. No fade. Runoff in the trench gleamed with a funky teal tint. Lisa sniffed. Wrinkled her nose. "Discount tracer dye from the hardware aisle. Their mapping flows on your land uninvited." The chemical whiff was synthetic. Not earthborn. That morn, faint teal streaks hugged their barrier, not mine. The path snaked through the illicit cut into my side. Fresh as dew. Lisa popped up with her cell. They dosed it last night. Showing blurry night footage of HOA crew dumping liquid under beams. "Beat you to it." A passerby grumbled. The thought of being outplayed on my own turf ignited fury. My rep wasn't just nicked, it was besieged. Lisa suggested a redo on a parched day. Metered hose flow over random rain. 2 days on. I ran the hose test. After a quarter-hour watch, vivid teal bloomed in my catchment basin. The trio of onlookers gaped. One gasping outright. "Didn't know they pulled this on you," she murmured. Lisa clicked pics. Nodded sharp. Another filmed. Whispering. Behind our backs. The teal vein glowed across the gash like neon proof. "Water don't fib on lines," I voiced. My tone cracking the gravity hit hard. This transcended squabbles. Lisa vid-taped each phase, proof of unconsented drain tweak. I caught handheld clips of the tinted surge from their trail through the bootleg groove. Undeniable. The phone jolted at midnight, blocked caller. Raspy breaths. Then a hiss. "Quit tracing." Hang up. I gripped the handset. Throat parched. Eyes on me. Spooked by what I'd unearthed next. Unease brewed over the mounting bully play. But relief surged as the die nailed the violation solid. "Tom here, I caught wind of a crew posing as fire wardens on your spread. That's fraud if they're uncertified." Tom's concern rang genuine, jolting me alert. A county land steward calling pre-dawn meant big trouble stirring. He broke it down. Real checks need creds. Notice. Owner okay. These amateurs held zilch sway. His voice steel-edged from past tangles. Karen marshaled 5 in glaring orange vests labeled Fireguard Volunteer. Crossing my line. Faking clout to order 40-foot grass trim per state fire regs. Ambushed amid the pack. Doubt crept their gear too spotless. No badges. One thrust a laser-printed ticket, bogus as Monopoly cash. Tom rolled up in his official truck. Flashed ID at Karen. "Ma'am. Mimicking officials is a crime." The phonies fidgeted. One ditching her vest. Tom eyed a raw stump by the rail cut fresh. Sap oozing. Months old at most. He tallied. The pale would screaming recent. Boundary shift sans permit damage and fraud. The wet bark heap they'd dumped. Prime tinder hazard. I pointed out with grim satisfaction. If fire safety mattered. Yank that first it ignites like flash paper. Tom inspected. Jotted stern notes. I scooped a test pit at the marker's oil churned. Roots sliced crisp. Tom affirmed. Marker relocated illegally. No filings. Evidence stacked. As the sham squad swelled for pressure, I wavered maybe de-escalate. But Tom's legit badge bolstered me. He slapped a scarlet label on the heap, hazard illegal dump remove now, and slapped Karen a sealed summons. 48 hours or fines. I drove cedar posts along the true line. Signs blaring, no HOA reach county confirmed. Visible truth. Afternoon brought Vista Green Services van on their turf. Text gauging toward mine. Rage boiled over the fakery and tree chop. But Tom's stamp sealed my stand. Karen pivoted to a safeguard our Valley Views drive, laced with lies on my rights. Plus concern, visits painting me erratic to bend me. Slick prints. 25 signatures demanding stable shrink for vistas. Knox came with faux worry. Your stress we suggest yielding for harmony. I countered with docs. Deed here examine. No HOA link. Eyes widened. Some poured over the maps. Admitting misinformation. Thought you were just obstinate. One apologized. I threw a veranda meet facts over fights. Invited for locals. An HOA rep. A runoff expert. No yells. Just demo. Tom unpacked survey kits by the felled trunk. Records show recent unauthorized move. Folks huddled over stamped proofs. The pit revealed mixed strata. Snapped roots. Expert nodded. Illicit shift. My ground scanner hummed over the tweak blanket first. Sweat beaded. Flop loomed. But after 20 ticks, teal exploded in the pit. Clear proof. The expert snagged my snaps for files. Set a probe for next week. This powder traces the path flows from theirs through the illegal cut. I demoed. A signer flushed. I bought the HOA spin misled. Vindication washed over no spin needed. Just science. Officer Mike Harris showed post-call on the feud. Logging bully tactics and tweaks. His badge shifted tones formal. Multi-department team runoff. Land. Codes probed Tuesday dawn. Pros with tools. No games. Lead outlined. Reports of rogue drains and borders. Official now. Karen waved a phony halt order. Fake seal gleaming. Neighborhood ballot settled this. She boomed. Wind flapping pages. Lead scanned. Dismissed. Fakes don't beat state codes. Here for violations. Her face crumpled as votes meant squat. 3 infractions logged. Rogue runoff via my logs. Border metal via tree rings. Soil. Intrusions galore. Measured. Snapped meticulous. Karen's Hail Mary. Consensus allows it. Lead gauge the slope. Bootleg grade violation. Posted halt. $750 daily fines. Charges possible. Runoff filed pattern for suit. Halt signs dotted their paths. Locals turned wary. Probing approvals missed. I eyed the ticket. Calm fraying. Lead wrapped. Eyed me. No old plat holders. Pattern suggests history. Sarah scoured hall ledgers. Unearthed HOA slicing landscape bids to dodge Tinder's felony procurement dodge. Spread docs, under thresholds deliberately. Timeline screamed scheme. Vista Green's license pegged Emily Hayes as Agent Karen's kin. Same address. Conflict blatant. Fraud reek. Hostility Spikita contractor snarled liens if no yield. I referred to counsel. Clicked off. Archives dawn. Specialist unrolled yellowed mapsakers vanished sans trace. Snapped. HOA overreach patterns. Weighty queries in tow. Explained to queriers. Splittings FraudGov pros spotted. Sarah highlighted. Identical jobs. Crews dodged oversight. When a director grilled Karen on kin ties at crisis meet, she stammered, "My sister's legit." But evasion crumbled. Tallied deals breached bids. Procurement launched felony probe on splits. Ties. Subpoenas linked dues to Emily's pots. No nods. Charges dropped. Fraud. Plot. Misuse jail looming. Sarah nailed Vista Green birth months, pre-contracts premeditated. County Mapper Thursday, GPS posts. Lasers buried, original stone unearthed. I traced the antique granite. Roots deep. Meat hall boiled. Notice blasted inbox charges named. Karen yelled. Drowned by shouts. Theft. Binder slammed. Sarah beamed flows. Silence. Then recall cries. Badge rips. Mapper detailed. DB Logedno mix-ups now. Karen's usage easement plea. Tom shot. Needs record. Consent none. Adverse needs decades. Resolution weak. Misdemeanors on Karen harass. Intrude. Harm. HOA liable civils. Sisters felony fraud. Fines tick till fix. Karen ousted Prez. Others quizzed me on rights. Eyeing HOA spends. Scandal birth strict audits countywide. Orders. Yank junk. Revert flows. GPS marks. Soil cleanse supervised pros. At dusk by the reset stone. Gold rays bathing it. I exhaled deep. Lines don't haggle. Laws ignore mobs. Truth stands solo. What do you think, should HOAs wield such unchecked power? Or are they just legalized bullies? Would you fight tooth and nail like I did? Or cave for peace? Ever faced a neighbor gone rogue? Drop your takes below. Smash that like if it fired you up. And subscribe for more real-life showdowns that hit home.